You weren't paying attention, John.
I'm trying. I don't follow direction very good, do I?
No. And now you have so much sauce here, not enough there, right?
Yeah.
But
so what do I do?
Every day, there's pizza. Every day,
I love that.
every hour of every day.
I'm John Mercurious. I've always been inherently curious. What makes people tick? Why do they do what they do? And then how do they go about making sure that they get it done? I'll introduce you to the difference makers, the influencers, the leaders in our community. Today we're here at Palermo's. I want you to meet the man behind the pizza, Palermo's CEO, Giacomo Fallucca. This is Mercurious.
Giacomo, thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
All right, you're going to teach me how to make pizzas, right?
Yes, it's about feel, and I've been doing this since I was about 12.
So you know it feels right.
Yeah, I know. The trickier part. So now it's ready to stretch the dough, and I use this motion where it's sort of it's. I don't want to be critical because
No, this is your deal.
Yes, I know, but it's where one hand is kind of holding the dough and the other hand is stretching it.
Okay.
But
Hold and stretch.
Right, but it goes a lot quicker.
This is going to be a lot harder than I think it is. I feel like I'm doing a bad dance.
No, you're doing well. I mean, you're doing an exceptional job.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
What's the best part about making pizza?
It's cathartic. I mean, it's like art.
You like get in a zone kind of, don't you?
You do. Making dough, making the dough balls, rolling the dough, letting it proof, preparing your toppings, making the pizzas. It's
cathartic. That's a good word.
It really is.
This is tougher than I thought it would be, to be honest with you.
And that's why they call them pizzaiolos, because it's a skill. To do this is really a skill. But you're getting there. That looks good.
You're very nice. Yours looks better.
Okay, I think that's good. Now pick it up with your hands like this. Just like this on the end. Just like that. Okay. Shake some of the flour off. Okay, now let's bring it over to the table here. And now we're gonna make the pizzas.
Ooh.
So John, here is your dough. And I'm gonna just show you how I put sauce on my pizza. I start with the sauce right in the middle. And so you can see how I go really, really slow.
That smells good.
And then I just go a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. But I want to make sure that I don't build too much of a sauce on the edge.
What's more important, the sauce or the crust?
They're both. I mean, they're equally.
Yeah.
If you have a good crust and not a good sauce, or vice versa.
Which is tougher to get right? Good crust or good sauce?
A good crust. So I'm gonna let you take this, pour the sauce in the middle, and you wanna hold it a little bit closer. You get your hands full of sauce. Look at that.
This is fun.
It is, isn't it?
It's almost like there's an art part of it.
There is, yeah.
The science part,
Yeah.
the ingredients, but this part's like art. Okay, see, so I'm uneven.
See, then you get a little trouble, right?
So I'm uneven, right? What happened? I'm not a very good artist.
I set you up.
Uh-oh, look, I'm too close to the edge.
And now you have so much sauce here, not enough there, right?
Yeah,
But
so what do I do?
Give me the ladle. No. Terrell, do we have another ladle? Can I, yeah. But there, see, you're getting it done.
Barely.
You're getting it done.
I want mine to look like yours.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's okay.
All right, help me here.
I'm gonna help you. So we'll just get some of these edges in.
You use it like a painter's brush.
It is. It is kind of like a painter's brush. There we go. So now,
I'm really impressed.
there we go. We're good.
It's touch.
Yeah.
It's a real touch.
I like putting my cheese down first. So
Okay.
what's the pizza you're gonna make? Oh yeah, you like cheese, sausage, green pepper,
Yes.
and mushrooms?
Yeah. Wow, you got a good memory.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
I'll never forget a good pizza.
So cheese first.
So cheese first. So you can see the cheese is a little sticky, so you want to just kind of break it up a little so it's easier to apply.
Mozzarella cheese.
Mozzarella. And so you can see I start on the edges. So you have to, when you're applying it, kind of break it up a little bit.
Is it personal preference?
It is.
How much cheese
It is.
you put on?
It is. It's total. I know you're not going to be able to know what does this translate to in terms of meltability, but this is a really good one.
All right, I feel good about that.
Okay, good. The sausage, we buy fresh Italian sausage, then we pre-cook it. We have our own recipe from a guy called Vince Carini.
Oh, that's very
And he
Italian.
makes our sausage for us.
So I could eat this right now.
You could eat it right now.
cooked.
Exactly, exactly. So the Supreme Pizza, I start with pepperoni first. So we will put the pepperoni down.
Ooh, this is
That'd be-
looking good.
Yeah. Green pepper.
Yep. See, I feel like I want to make a pattern. Like I want to, but is that right
Well,
or wrong?
that's beautiful. That's a pattern right there. Look at that. See? See how lovely that looks.
I'm going to grab onion.
Right here. And these are julienne strips, so
Yep.
I'll just kind of like,
Okay.
just kind of lay them on, kind of like your green pepper.
Yeah.
Believe me, your hands will smell like onions when you're done.
That's good. That's a good smell.
Well, not once with you all day long. People are like, whoa, what's that? What's that smell, John? You know?
Oh, you smell like onion.
Yeah. When I was a kid making pizzas, couldn't get the onion smell off my hands. I would have to wash my hands with lemon and salt.
And it just wouldn't go away unless you did that.
You know, we would peel 50-pound bags of onions at a time.
Wow.
A couple times a night.
Now I notice you have strong hands.
You think so?
They look,
Yeah.
they look muscular.
Well,
they look,
they're short and stubby.
but
Better-
your arms too. You have big forearms.
Yeah,
do
I
you think
do.
seriously that's from all the
I think it is.
work you've done?
I think so, yeah. I wish it was like 6 inches taller. These muscles would
Don't we all?
stretch out. You know. Okay, so I'm done, and I think you're done. Okay, now watch what happens when it goes into this oven.
That's hot.
It's
How many degrees?
761.
So this is from Italy?
Yeah, and the beauty of this, it's not just the top heat, we have the bottom heat too.
Yeah, that is fast.
Yeah, you gotta, I mean, it's like 90 seconds or something like that, right?
That's fast.
See that dough is rising?
Yeah. I can't believe how fast it happened.
Yeah. Kind of like a pancake hitting a griddle. Yeah. Woo! All right, that's the Supreme. Look at that.
Oh
Beautiful.
my God, that's beautiful. Oh, that smells fantastic. Look at that.
A little bit of char,
That's fantastic.
not too much char. When you look at pictures of all Neapolitan style pizza, there's always a little bit of char on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Terrell, like a magician. Look at that. Look how pretty that is.
Isn't that beautiful?
Bubbling up a little bit.
Yeah, see how the cheese is nice and melted, and this is a piece of art. Yours looks actually better than that.
No, look. Yours is a perfect circle.
Well, yours is.
Mine's got issues.
No, I think yours, it's very artisanal.
Wow, these look great.
Don't they?
Fantastic.
Should we open up a pizzeria?
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't
If
think so.
If you need a partner. Giacomo, how often when you're in the grocery store do you look at the freezer section and check out where your stuff is placed and if you're happy with how it's stacked and how it plays out there in the freezer section?
Well, I'm in the stores a lot. I mean, and I shop for everything. So I go to the freezer section and I look at our products, how they're displayed. I look at my competition and I get fumed. And then the next call is to my VP of sales. Why aren't we getting this display or this or that? So
How competitive is that space in the freezer section?
oh, it's extremely competitive. I mean, there's in some cases 30 to 60 feet of frozen pizza. So there's lots of options for consumers.
So when you're a consumer, and I know you do all sorts of research on this stuff, what do you find enters in the consumer's mind when they're standing and they're looking at, 100 kinds of pizza? What factors do price play? Does variety play? Does packaging play?
Well, I think there's the consumer that has high brand awareness of a product. So they'll go in, if they're looking for a Screaming Sicilian and that's what they buy, they'll go in and reach for a Screaming and won't look anywhere else.
Yep.
There are consumers that'll go to the case and look at what's on sale, and then they'll make their purchase decision that way, by the packaging or whatever attracts them, or price. There are consumers that are buying for themselves. There are consumers that are buying for children. So it all depends who they're shopping for.
You know, like when I was in college and didn't have any money, I would go in and I would look at what each pizza weighed and then kind of do quick math on how much
Yes.
pizza am I getting.
Yes.
And now that I'm married with a wife and she wants to be more careful about what we eat, I don't want the biggest, heaviest pizza.
Right,
The
right.
ingredients are more important.
Sure, exactly. So weight is also another factor when buying a frozen pizza or anything. They'll look at the price and the weight and decide, hey, I can buy a 25-ounce pizza for this price, or I can buy a 13-ounce pizza for that price. So like our Primo Thin is a lighter weight pizza. And there are some folks in the Midwest that just prefer a heavier weight pizza.
So you're a national company, but you're based here in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Does that give you extra pull in Pick and Save or in Kroger stores as far as how your product's displayed and the relationship you have?
A little bit extra, but at the end of the day, it's all about performance. So, you know, the grocery stores are run very sophisticated. They'll look at market share and movement. So it's like having a great song on the radio. If you're good, you'll make the Billboard Top 100. If you're really good, you'll make the top 10. It's all about velocity. So for us, same thing.
You ever get tired of eating frozen pizza?
No, I don't.
If I were to look at your freezer at home, would you have frozen pizzas in your freezer at home?
I only have a few because they'll get old. I eat most of my frozen pizzas here at Palermo's. Every day there's pizza. Every day,
I love that.
every hour of every day there's pizzas here. So, I mean, if I eat a lot of pizza a day, I'm not eating pizza at night. But sometimes I go out for pizza afterwards. You know,
Well, I've been out with you at a
Yeah.
local
Yeah,
restaurant in
right,
town,
right.
and you ordered the pizza.
I did.
And I felt like you were enjoying the pizza, but
I
also
was.
doing a little bit of research at the
sure,
same time.
exactly. Yeah, I
Kinda
mean,
checking out.
so for me, it's a love affair with pizza. There's art, there's taste, and so yes, I eat a lot of our pizzas. But I'll even take pizza crust home and make my own fresh pizza at home.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So what is the shelf life for a frozen pizza? You brought up not wanting to stay in the freezer too long. One of your pizzas, how long can I keep it in the freezer?
So it's
and-
about a 6-month shelf life, and so the pizza just will lose flavor. About after month 3, it'll lose flavor. So
It won't hurt you, it's just not as flavorful.
not as flavorful, exactly.
And can you, as a connoisseur, tell the difference? Like,
Oh,
wow,
absolutely.
that's probably been
Oh, absolutely.
out for too long.
Oh yeah, I was at a grocery store years ago, and they were cutting pizzas, means bake them and trying them. And I was sitting here, and the ovens were across the room, and I was watching them because they were comparing some of the competition, and I could tell those pizzas had a lot of age because the sauce was orange. And so I didn't say anything, and they're going around, and people are trying the pizza, and I'm like, ugh. You know, and then they get around to me, do you want some pizza? No. And then I finally tell them, the reason your pizza doesn't taste good is because you've not rotated your stock, and it's old. That's your problem. It's not the pizza.
Yep.
But unfortunately, they ate several slices of old pizza, and the sauce.
And it just wasn't very good.
It wasn't. It was awful. It was probably a year old or more.
Pizza with a fork, yes or no?
I love pizza with a fork. I'm sort of a neat eater.
Do you also eat it without a fork?
I
Does
do.
it vary?
It does, but I like smaller slices. And I would take that slice and I'd cut it. I'd take a slice. This is cut in almost not eighths, but a little more. Then I would cut it again. So I like slices in 12ths because now I don't have to get sauce and cheese on the edge of my mouth. That's me.
So if you're not eating a Palermo's frozen pizza, would you prefer a New York style pizza, a Chicago style pizza? Does it depend on your mood?
So I do like a really good thin crust, and I like a really good Neapolitan style crust. So those are my two crust preferences.
And that's what this is, right? A
This is more
Neapolitan style?
Neapolitan, exactly. It's sort of, it's not thin, crispy, it's sort of bubbly. You've got the bubbles here, you can see throughout. So that's the pizza that's, I prefer, I guess I'm split between good thin crust and good Neapolitan.
You know, at the end of the day, you make great pizza, but it's also a business, right? I mean, you employ a lot of people, you take care of families, you're present in the community. How much fun is it? Is it still fun, or when it becomes a bigger and bigger successful business like you have, does it become more work?
Well, of course it's more work, but that's what I do. I mean, that's my choice. To be involved in a business like this, as the business grows, it becomes more complex.
How do you keep it fun?
By keeping it fun. by interjecting humor.
having light moments.
Right, right.
You know, with running a successful business comes responsibility too, and I know you think about the men and women you employ, and
Sure.
you take care of their families. You make sure kids get through
Sure.
college.
Sure.
You make sure people have nice holidays. How
Sure.
important is that responsibility?
Well, it's when I think about it, today, for example, I was looking at the annual dollar amount of the 401k match that we make each year. And I was in a meeting this morning, I was sharing someone the number, and they just could not believe the number. It's a 7-figure number.
Wow.
That is just our match.
Yeah.
That's just one part of our benefit. Thinking about how important
Wow.
that is.
The difference that makes.
Right.
The real difference in people's lives.
It does. It does.
Charitable giving, you're also very generous, both as a company and personally.
Sure.
How much of a responsibility, I keep using that word, but how much of a responsibility is there at the corporate level to give back to the community where you employ people?
Well, I think it starts with desire. I have a desire to be involved in our city. So I'm a competitive guy. Milwaukee and Wisconsin is my hometown. So I want to win. I want to win in this city, and I want to win in our state compared to other states. But I want to win here. So that means being involved in the lives of people, in the different organizations. And so what can I do? Because I can't do everything. But what can I do? What can our company do to be involved in our city and our community?
How do you stay on top of your email? Is there a secret? I struggle to be efficient with my email. You have a ton of email.
I
How do you stay
do.
on top of that?
I was with someone this week who works with Mark Cuban companies, and we were just talking about communication. And so it inspired me to be quicker with my emails and my response. So it's a challenge every day, but I try to focus on it. Last night I was up till 1 in the morning just doing emails, answering emails.
So what's your preferred method of communication with the people that are important to you? I mean, not your family, but in a business setting. Is it email, text, phone, in person? What works best?
For those that are closest to me, I prefer to talk to them. So I'm on the phone constantly, in the morning, at night, with key members of my team. And I will text as well, and I will email, but phone, personal is just more of a preference for me. Now I dictate, and people know that. So when they see an email or text dictated, sometimes it doesn't come across the way I have described it. But I love to dictate. And actually,
it's efficient.
when I dictate from my car using Apple CarPlay, it's the most efficient because Apple CarPlay picks up everything rather than just on my phone.
So you know what's interesting about that? Does that mean you find yourself sometimes doing business in your car because it's
I am
more
out
effective
back
and easier?
sometimes as much as a half hour a day
Here in the parking lot.
before I get into my office. I'm on my phone. I have privacy. I can talk. I can text. I can dictate.
That's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
So has that dictating technology changed how effectively you can communicate?
Oh, absolutely. It's just getting better. And I think about how it's going to improve each year. So I'm not a technology person, but I've made a commitment to say, how can I use technology to make me become more effective, more efficient? And communication is the key, whether it's to loved ones or whether it's to folks in business. So
you whipped your phone out.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody that has as many photos on their phone as you. I can't believe you have room for anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Photos on your phone.
Yeah.
In the past, you've called up for me like, I had a pizza 17 months ago in
Right.
this little place in New York, and you can find it on your phone.
Exactly.
Does that become overwhelming?
No, I love looking at photos. Today, we have a very significant Burmese population. So I was sitting at the lunch table with them, and we were showing them photos of Thailand and Koh Samui and my trip,
cool.
and so I almost communicate with photos. I take photos of everything.
I feel like we've lost something because nobody prints photos.
I know.
And I love printed photos.
Me too.
Do you ever print the photos from
I
your
do.
phone?
I do. I have photos in here to print, but then I get stuck. How do I print them? I have to go to Walgreens
Right.
or wherever.
Yeah.
To say, can you get this off my phone and into? See, I'm good at taking the photo. I'm not good at doing anything else with it.
Don't you have people for that?
I'm not on Instagram or Snapchat or.
With all the pictures you take, you should be on Instagram. You could have a dedicated Instagram pizza page.
Well, this gives me personal pleasure. So
Yeah.
I have more pleasure in looking at the photos than sharing them with the world. I'll share them with others that I know.
Yeah. Lunch meetings. I have a boss who hates lunch meetings because he says they're ineffective. He says you got to then take turns eating. You're kind of trying to decide who's talking, and you want to enjoy your lunch, but you also want to be focused on the person talking to you. Your thoughts on lunch or breakfast meetings?
I actually prefer morning coffee because that's really efficient. If we have lunch meetings, it'll be here at Palermo's. So what's good is if they're coming here, we can make pizza, and it's a really efficient way to eat lunch. We just put the pizza on a credenza, and so it doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's easy. So I prefer lunch meetings here at Palermo's. I mean, I'm out for lunch as well, but I agree.
Yeah. What about doing business in unconventional places besides the boardroom? The golf course, a boat out on Lake Michigan. Does that work?
For me, I'm not a big golfer, and so doing business on the golf course is not something that I tend to do. Most of our customers are national, but I think I mostly golf with my kids. I love golfing with them, sitting in the cart, talking.
Yeah, it's a social thing.
It's a social thing, yeah.
All right, so what do you like to do in your free time?
I like to cook. I like to travel. I like to go to Bucks games. I love
You're a minority owner of the Bucks.
Right. I think anything to do with people is what I enjoy.
So let's talk about your travel.
Sure.
Where do you like to travel?
Tomorrow I'm going to New York. I love New York.
Yeah.
I love Italy. I just love Italy.
Specific parts of Italy?
I love Rome. I like Florence. I like Sicily. Those three are my favorite spots.
So there's kind of two schools of thought on travel. People who like to go somewhere new and they're out of their element.
Yeah.
Or people that like to be very familiar. They like to go back where they know the lay of the land.
Sure.
What's your preference?
I like the familiar. I like going to places that I enjoy, I'm familiar with. And then because what'll happen is I'll meet people that I get to know. So I'm going to visit almost like a family or an extended member of my family. So that's part of it. When I would travel to different places, I know the owners, I know the people. That's what makes it enjoyable for me.
So when you go to Florence, which I know you like to do,
Sure.
Do you like to literally stay in the same hotels, eat in the same restaurants?
Yes, I have a couple hotels in Florence, and I'm good friends with David. Not really, the David.
The statue.
I got pictures of him. You want to see?
I bet you.
From the bottom up, it's
sure
a really
you do.
good view.
Are you a morning guy or a night guy?
I'm both. I used to be a morning guy, but now I'm
Both?
both.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't get to bed until at least 1:30 last night, and I had a 7:30 meeting this morning. That wasn't on my calendar, and I put on my calendar late last night. So I'm up at 6 o'clock, and I'm tired. But
So what's a typical night's sleep? How many hours do you typically get a night?
I'm normally in bed by midnight, and then up by 6, so like 6 hours.
Wow, Giacomo, that's not a lot of sleep, and
not.
that's regular.
There are some, no, it's not. I mean, there's some nights, a couple nights ago, where I got at least 8. So that was good.
At least 8.
Yeah.
Most people try to get 8 every night.
I know.
Can you function on that? Are you one of those guys that's 6 hours and you're pretty good?
This morning I thought, man, I got a lot to do today. How am I going to look? Do I have bags under my eyes?
Which you don't.
And I know I'm going to get home late tonight.
Yeah.
And I have an early flight tomorrow. So I was getting a little stressed about that, but I'm fine now.
What kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Mercedes AMG.
Oh, that's a nice car.
Yeah.
Do you have a different car you drive in the summer and the winter because we have the different seasons here?
Yeah, there's an Italian make of a car that I drive. I tend to like. I drive one of those as well.
Oh, that's nice. During the summer mostly.
During the summer mostly, yes.
What
exactly.
color is it?
It's red.
Oh,
yeah, it's red.
That's
Yep.
the color.
Yep. I'm not a very good driver, I've been told. My kids tell me I don't drive very well.
Do you drive fast?
I do. I do drive fast.
You got a lot of places to be.
You know, I'm just a fast driver, but, you know, I don't mind people cutting me off or coming in front of me, or it doesn't bother me. I mean, I sometimes joke at folks that don't want to let me in. They're like, okay, they're not letting me in. I'm driving an expensive car. Like, I'm not letting this guy in. But I don't like people.
You know that happens,
It
right?
does, yes.
Yeah.
And then people tailgating me, that really does get to me. But other than that, I'm fine.
Are you the guy that's shaking your fist in the mirror?
No. Oh my gosh, no. There was one time, there was a guy that was so upset at me. We got to a stop sign, and I rolled down my window, and he rolled down his window, and he was ready for a fight. I said, I'm sorry. I cut you off back there. I'm really sorry.
Yep.
He was ready to yell at me, you know?
And then you took all the coal out of him. He
Sure.
had nothing to say. You disarmed him.
Right. But I'm not always that nice, so I don't want the viewers to think, oh, he's a nice guy. I mean, of course I say it silently, but, you know.
Do you read a lot?
I do. I took pictures of my books that I read.
And you take pictures of everything.
Well, I wanted to show you, but now I forgot their names. I got like 6 books on my desk.
Yeah, because we
4 on my
talk about
nightstand.
reading a lot.
Right.
Okay, so at any one given time, how many different books or magazines are you reading and swapping through?
Right now, I have at least 5 magazines on my desk at home, and I have 4 on my nightstand. And the ones on my office desk at home, I finally put back on the shelf.
Wow.
And they're just a variety of publications.
So now, do you read a variety of fiction, nonfiction, historical? What do you like to read?
Yeah, so I
when you
have
pick
a
up book?
fiction. I like business books a lot. I like books that inspire. So one of the books I'm reading is called Grit, Angela Duckworth. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Grit.
Okay.
It's a great book. It just talks about the number one trait that folks need to succeed and survive. Grit, Angela Duckworth.
And is that the number one trait, grit?
Grit.
Okay.
One of them is grit. I'm reading a book, I think I told you about this, Mediterranean Summer. It's about a chef that experiences life on the Mediterranean. It's a true story with a very wealthy Italian couple. And what that was like, living on that yacht with a crew of 6 for the whole summer and the meals that he made. It was just, it takes you there.
So you're always reading a bunch of different things. You read
Yeah.
a chapter of this one, then you might set it aside, and then you pick up the other one. And then
Sure.
how do you stay on top of reading 3, 4, 5 different things at a time?
It's not very efficient. I mean, I should just read it and put it. I have a white paper on how CEOs manage their time. And I think I've had it for 6 months. And it's gone from my briefcase to my office to my desk at home. And I started paging through it, and then I'll stop and do something else. So it's difficult to maintain.
What other food do you like besides pizza? If you can't have pizza, but you're going to go to something else, what's on the list?
Well, I like Italian food, of course. I do like Asian food quite a bit. I like Mexican food quite a bit.
Yeah. Are you a picky eater?
Yes and no. I mean, sometimes I'll eat anything, cold or hot. So I would say I'm not a picky eater, but I'm particular about the foods I like.
Yeah. Will you try anything? If you're
Oh, of
in
course.
Asia, will you try all the different foods?
When I was in Asia with my boys in Japan, it was like death by sushi. My sons really are good at finding these spots.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. At the end of the meal, I mean, one of the things on there was moving, and we all just said, okay, we're done, because it was like 8 courses of raw
Wow.
fish.
That's a lot of sushi.
It was. We couldn't finish it.
Are you a napper? Do you
I
like
love
naps?
to nap.
Okay, so short nap, long nap?
You've heard of the NASCAR nap?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, like when I love watching NFL football, the Packers.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's a time that I have permission to just do nothing for 3 hours.
You can come in and out?
I can come in and out. Exactly.
So I don't
So
feel
Sundays are a nap where, I mean, it's
Yeah.
never like a long nap. It's like 20 minutes and I'm up. And
good. See, I don't feel good if I don't nap for at least 45 minutes. I just feel like I'm groggy, and other people can nap for 10 minutes and they get up and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Are you kind of in between?
I'm in between. I mean, I don't nap every week. But if there's something on television on Sunday afternoon, that's kind of my nap time.
Do you have quiet time? You're like going 1,000 miles a minute all the time. Does Giacomo have quiet time?
Yes, I like my morning quiet time. I don't like morning meetings. I get a little cranky. So I would prefer to have an hour and a half each morning, where I can really work out. I got a great gym. I don't use it as often. And so that gets me a little cranky. But I do like my morning time. I do.
So if you can get in the gym, what's your machine of choice?
I like the treadmill. I have an elliptical as well. And so the treadmill, I'll walk fast for like a minute, and then I'll jog for like 2 minutes, and then I'll just kind of go back and forth. And
I feel like I burn more calories on the treadmill than on the elliptical.
Yes.
I like the elliptical, but it's not for
I
me
feel
the
like
same workout.
I feel like I'm cheating.
Yeah, I do too.
But the trainer that sold me the elliptical said you could really get a better workout on the elliptical. So,
He wanted to sell you an elliptical.
well, it was less money than the treadmill, so he had a point. He could have sold me the treadmill, which I later bought.
So you have both.
I have both, yeah.
Do you watch cooking TV shows? They're everywhere.
I do. I love Bobby Flay. I love Beat Bobby Flay. I love The Kitchen.
Yep.
I like Chopped.
That's a good show.
And you know, I'm just so amazed at the creativity of the folks that are on there. I think, man, that's a really good dish, and it's so creative and so simple. I'm totally inspired by it. I'm totally intimidated by their creativity, how good they are at their craft. It's really amazing.
Do you pay primarily with cash or credit cards?
Credit cards. I try to keep as much cash in my pocket as possible, just to have.
Yeah.
But I prefer credit card.
See, I play a game with myself. I like to have about $100 in my pocket, and then I see how long I can make the $100 last, if I can make it last. And I like credit cards because I just collect the points, and it's easy, it's clean, it's just the way to go.
So I know it's easier, but I have cash, especially for tips. I like to valet park.
Yep.
So I have valets around the city, and I like to make sure that they're taken care of well.
And that way, they're going to take care of you.
Exactly.
Because they know.
Because I can park.
They know.
Hey, Giacomo, here are the keys are in the
That's
car.
right.
I can go and do what I
Yep.
got to do, come back out, and they know they're taken care of. And, you know, it's a pleasure to be able to be a little generous in that regard.
All right, I want to run through one more thing with you. I like to call it deserted island. So you're on a deserted island. I'm going to give you choices, and you have to tell me which of these. You're on the deserted island,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay.
You can take with you.
Am I by myself?
Yes.
Okay.
Completely deserted.
Okay.
That's kind of lonely and sad, isn't it?
It's okay.
All right. One movie. You can take one movie with you to the island that you'll be able to watch. What is it?
Gladiator.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You're going to be fired up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that.
I figured it's going to be hot.
Yep.
I'm going to need to be refreshed.
Yep.
I'm not going to drink a bottle of wine when I feel like I'm going to take a nap. So,
You can take on the island one famous person who you've never met. Who would you want to take with you to the island?
So right now, the person I want to meet is Marcus Lemonis.
the
from-
guy
from
from
The Prophet. Yeah.
That's a great show.
Yeah, so
Oh,
right now he's the guy I would take,
that's a good
the
choice.
one famous person.
You can take either tiramisu or a state fair cream puff.
Tiramisu.
Yeah.
Do you know what tiramisu means?
No.
Tiramisu. Tira means pick me, su up, pick me up. It's a pick me up.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, because it's got the coffee.
It's
got
exactly.
the-
It's a pick me
I
up.
never knew
That
that.
is a translation of tiramisu.
You can take one TV show. That's it. You're going to be locked into this one TV show.
Oh my gosh.
As long as you're on the island, you and one TV show.
I'm gonna watch. What? Oh my God! I'm blanking out. I just watched it last night. Blue Bloods.
Oh, that's been on for like 8 seasons
It's
too.
like it's
There's
like,
a ton
it's
of
like
those.
going to church.
Tom Selleck.
It's like going to church.
Yeah.
I love Blue Bloods.
All right, I want to ask you for a specific album, but you can take the music of one band, singer, artist. Whose music are you taking onto the island?
Pavarotti. I'm bringing.
Oh, wow.
All of those are just so inspiring. The songs are just so I get so inspired by the music and the meaning of the songs.
This is going to be an intense island. Pavarotti,
Yeah.
beer, and Gladiator
Yeah,
blasting
exactly,
in the background.
exactly.
There's going to be no messing around.
Yeah.
What do you want to accomplish in the future?
Well, for me, I think it's achieving a certain amount of success in business, which translates to personal, which really translates to making a difference in the lives of others. So anything that I can do that makes a positive impact in the lives of others is really kind of what I'm working for.
That's super cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I've enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Giacomo, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for taking some
Thank you.
time
You're
to
welcome. It was fun.
chat with me. It was a lot
See,
of fun.
this is the fun part of my job.
That's a wrap on this edition of Mercurious. We'll catch you next time around.